Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, September 19, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Denver Broncos vs Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver played well offensively against the Giants, scoring 27 points in the win. They threw for 255 yards and rushed for 165 yards in the win. Despite getting out-carried by rookie Javonte Williams, veteran running back Melvin Gordon made his presence felt in the run game in Week 1, rushing 11 times for 101 yards, including a 70-yard touchdown run. While durability remains a concern for the 28-year-old, he showed that he still had plenty left in the tank against the Giants. Last season, Gordon finished with 986 rushing yards and 11 total touchdowns, including 9 rushing scores. Teddy Bridgewater completed 28 of 36 passes for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon III had 11 carries for 101 yards and 1 touchdown, while Jerry Jeudy had 6 catches for 72 yards. Jeudy left the game with an injury and will be out for a few weeks. On defense, Denver is fresh off of allowing just 13 points and 327 yards of total offense against the Giants. While Von Miller picked up 2 sacks in the win, the Broncos also did a good job of stopping the run, limiting New York to just 60 rushing yards. Our first betting advice is to pick Denver Broncos -6. Jacksonville struggled offensively against the Texans and finished the game with 21 points. They threw for 319 yards and rushed for 76 yards in the loss. Jacksonville will be looking to bounce back following an awful performance against Houston. The Jaguars surrendered 37 points and 449 yards of total offense in the loss. The pass rush is also still a problem for Jacksonville, which allowed Texans veteran Tyrod Taylor to carve up the defense for 291 passing yards. Trevor Lawrence completed 28 of 51 passes for 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Carlos Hyde had 9 carries for 44 yards, while DJ Chark Jr. had 3 receptions for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. Our second betting advice is to pick under 45. San Francisco 49ers vs Philadelphia Eagles. San Francisco played well offensively in their first game, scoring 41 points in the win. They threw for 311 yards and rushed for 131 yards in the win. San Francisco also got some bad news following the win. Starting running back Raheem Mostert left the game with a season-ending injury after just 2 carries, leaving the 49ers seemingly thin at running back. Mitchell, a 6th-round rookie, is expected to get the first crack at replacing Mostert after his Week 1 performance. Jamichael Hasty and Trey Sermon also figure to be working into the equation, while running back Jeff Wilson Jr. works his way back from the PUP list as well. Head coach Kyle Shanahan will also have a chance to get creative with Lance, who could be a centerpiece in the 49ers rushing attack. Jimmy Garoppolo completed 17 of 25 passes for 314 yards and 1 touchdown. Rookie running back Elijah Mitchell stepped after Raheem Mostert injured his knee. He had 19 carries for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Deebo Samuel had a career day, finishing the game with 9 receptions for 189 yards and 1 touchdown. Our first betting advice is to pick Philadelphia Eagles +3. Philadelphia played well offensively against the Falcons, scoring 32 points in the win. They threw for 261 yards and rushed for 173 yards in the win. The Nick Sirianni era in Philadelphia is off to a strong start. Hurts looked poised and efficient in the pocket on Sunday, completing 77% of his passes while adding 62 yards on the ground. He executed run-pass options with ease and showed it by throwing for 3 touchdowns for just the second time in his NFL career. Jalen Hurts completed 27 of 35 passes for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 62 yards. Miles Sanders had 15 carries for 74 yards, while Devonta Smith had 6 catches for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. Our second betting advice is to pick over 49.5. Quick reminder, you can get 125% cash back bonus on your first deposit on our partner sportsbook BetUS after you open an account using our link down below and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES when making your deposit. Leading the Rams offensively is quarterback Matthew Stafford, who looked unstoppable in the season opener as he had 321 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns. In addition, he completed 76.9% of his passes as he showcased tremendous accuracy throughout all 4 quarters. Our first betting advice is to pick Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5. Watch for Jonathan Taylor in this one. The former Wisconsin star dazzled in his rookie season with a remarkable 1169 yards. The Colts' best chance against the Rams is on the ground, and I expect Taylor to see plenty of action after rushing for 56 yards on 17 attempts last week. The Colts are playing without number 1 WR.T.Y. Hilton. Fortunately, Zach Pascal is also a threat. The 26-year-old WR tallied 629 yards last year and 43 yards in last week's defeat. The Indianapolis offense could potentially take a step back this year as Wentz is filling the shoes of the retired Philip Rivers. Our second betting advice is to pick under 47.5. Buffalo Bills vs Miami Dolphins. The Buffalo Bills have a solid defense, and it showed throughout their Week 1 game against a good Pittsburgh Steelers offense. They gave up 23 points on just 252 yards of total offense, 177 passing, 75 rushing. The defense stepped up big time as they forced a fumble, but were unable to recover it. They completely eliminated what the Steelers could do on the ground as rookie Najee Harris only had 45 yards on 16 carries, and they also forced Big Ben to a miserable 28.5 QBR. Our first netting advice is to pick Buffalo Bills minus 3.5. Miami's defense is their top strength. They had some trouble last week, surrendering 393 total yards. This included 281 passing yards to Mac Jones in his NFL debut. The Dolphins were tabbed 16th against the pass and 23rd against the run in 2020. They scored an average of 25.3 points last season, ranking them 15th in the league. Miami held foes to only 21.1 points, good for 6th in the NFL. Miami has a solid running back in Myles Gaskin. The 24-year-old rushed for 585 yards in 10 games last year and accrued 49 yards on 9 carries last week. Dolphins number 1 WR Devontae Parker will be targeted heavily in this one. He tallied 169 receiving yards in his 2 performances against the Bills last year. The Dolphins' offense is mediocre, however. If Tagovailoa can take his game to the next level, this team will be tough to beat. Our second betting advice is to pick over 47.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.